It starts with
one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away, it's so unreal. Didn't look out below, watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Caso ele venha, a gente virar de novo, entendeu?
You ready? Come on, y'all, get up! Come on! Get up!
Can't take this anymore. Say everything I said before. All these words that make no sense. I found this in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find out anyway. Just like people. Everything you say to me, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. One step pieces that I can feel, torn from my body, my flesh it feels. During this ride we can cut off what we like. Waiting alone I cannot resist, feeling this hate I have never missed. Please someone give me a reason to feel alive. Face blood in this forest, blood in this forest, blood in this forest.
You ready?
Blood in this forest.
Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. It's forward. Shut up. It's forward. Shut up. It's forward. Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. It's forward. Shut up. It's forward. Shut up. It's forward. Shut up. I'm about to break everything you say to me. 61 step to the edge. I'm about to break. I need you in a room to break. One step to the edge. 'Cause I'm about to break everything you say to me. 61 step to the edge. And I'm about to break. I need you in a room to break. One step to the edge. And I'm about to.
Virando aqui tá cheio.
Pretend everything is what I want it to be. I look exactly like what you had always wanted to see. When I pretend, I can forget about the criminal I am, stealing second after second just 'cause I know I can. But I can't pretend this is the way it'll stay. I'm just
Trying to bend the truth,
I can't pretend I'm who you want me to be. So I'm
lying my way from you.
nah, don't turn me back
I
now.
wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
Nah, don't turn me back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather fight all alone.
Don't turn it back now.
Anywhere on my own, 'cause I can say
Nah, don't turn it back
the
now.
very worst part of it all is me.
I remember what they taught to me. Remember condescending talk of who I ought to be. Remember listening to all of that and this again. So I pretended of a person who was fitting in. And now you think this person really is me. And
Trying to bend the truth,
but the more I push, the more I'm pulling away. 'Cause I'm
lying my way from you.
nah, don't turn it back now.
Wanna be pushed aside, so let me go.
Nah, don't turn it back now.
Let me take back my life. I'd rather fight all alone.
Don't turn it back now.
Anywhere on my own, 'cause I can say
Nah, don't turn it back
the
now.
very worst part of you. The very worst part of you.
This isn't what I wanted to be. I never thought that just won't last.
You love the way I look at you while taking pleasure in the awful things you put me through. You take away if I give in. My life, my pride is broken. You have to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. You love the things I say I'll do. The way I hurt myself again just to get back at you. You take away when I give in. My life, my pride is broken. You like to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do.
Forfeit your game before somebody else takes you out of the frame. Put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, you just won't last. Forfeit your game before somebody else takes you out of the frame. Put your name to shame, cover up your face. You can't run the race, the pace is too fast, you just won't last.
You like to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do. You like to think you're never wrong. You live what you do. You have to act like you're someone. You live what you do. You want someone to have like you. You live what you do. You wanna share what you've been through. You live what you do.
Já subiram alguns já.
Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. There's something inside me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing. This lack of self-control I fear is never ending, controlling. I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in.
Not a sense of confidence, I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take.
I felt this way before, so insecure. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Discomfort endlessly has pulled itself upon me, distracting, reacting. Against my will I stand beside my own reflection. associations under a sky of dust, a constant wave of tension on top of broken trust. The lessons that you taught me, I learned were never true. Now I find myself in question.
They point the finger at me again.
Guilty by association.
You point the finger at me again.
I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. Paper bags and angry voices under a sky of dust. Another wave of tension has more than filled me up. On my talk of taking action, these words were never true. Now I find myself in question.
They point the finger at me again.
Guilty by association.
You point the finger at me again.
I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. Gonna run away and never say goodbye.
Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away.
I'm gonna run away and never wonder why.
Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away.
I'm gonna run away and open up my mind.
Run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away.
I wanna run away, never say goodbye. I wanna know the truth instead of wondering why. I wanna know the answers, no more lies. I wanna shut the door and open up my mind. I wanna run away and open up my mind. I wanna run away and open up my mind. I wanna run away and open up my mind. I wanna run away and open up my mind.
I watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light from the sun. The sun doesn't give light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna owe it one. It makes me think of how you act for me. You do favors there rapidly. You just turn around and start asking me about things that you want back from me. I'm sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest.
I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy a place on my head.
Maybe someday I'll be just like you and step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. I remember back then who you were. You used to be calm, used to be strong, used to be generous. You should have known that you wear out your welcome, and now you see how quiet it is all alone. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest.
I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy a place for my head. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy
the last every time they fall. So you know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is hearing me right underneath my skin. Paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. I know what you're facing me, points out all the mistakes in me. You've got a face on the inside too. Yeah, paranoia's probably worse. I don't know what's just me out first, but I know what I can't stand. Everybody acts the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you get. Everybody is the face of the oldest. Face in the wakes when they close my face and watches every time they face and last every time they fall. So you know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is watching you too, right inside your skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath the skin. It's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. The face inside is right beneath your skin. The face inside is right beneath your skin. The face inside is right beneath your skin. The sun goes
Trying
batendo nessa porra, velho.
I've lied to you the same way that I always do. This is the last smile that I'll fake for the sake of being with you.
Everything falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down.
The sacrifice of fighting in the
Everything has to end, you'll soon find we're out of time left to watch it all
The
unwind.
sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. I've tried like you to do everything you wanted to. This is the last time I'll take the blame for the sake of being with
Everything
you.
falls apart, even the people who never frown eventually break down.
The sacrifice of hiding in the
Everything has to end, you'll soon find we're out of time left to watch it all
The
unwind.
sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see the testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see the testing me, pushes me away.
We're all out of time, this is how we find how it all unwinds.
The sacrifice of hiding in the light.
We're all out of time, this is how we find how it all unwinds.
The sacrifice is never knowing why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Why I never walked away, why I played myself this way. Now I see you're testing me, pushes me away. Pushes me away.